I'm riding down Rectory Lane in Allesley, having come from the direction of Corley Moor via Washbrook Lane and Butt Lane, and I'm now heading for my house in Earlsdon. I'm just reaching the Birmingham Road, Thomas Telford's Holyhead Road, and I'm going to take first right into a little lane that leads to a bridge which goes over Pickford Way. I've just gone through a no cycling sign, so I'm going to observe that. I'm getting off and walking, which is quite difficult in rigid carbon soled modern cycling shoes with external cleats. I should say that I don't normally come this way when I'm riding from Corley Moor to Earlsdon. I usually go via Harvest Hill, walk across the A45, then go through Pickford Green, Easton Green, Broad Lane, Banner Lane, Tile Hill, and then down Torrington Avenue. I'd much prefer to come this way. It's much more pleasant and direct, but unfortunately there are several obstacles to cycling, the first of which is this footbridge. It's a great pity it wasn't made wider so that we could have a cycle path and a footpath together. As soon as I can get back on the bike, I'll be riding up through Allesley Park, which brings me out at the end of Allesley Hall Drive, and that gives me two possibilities. I can either turn left down Allesley Hall Drive and then link into Pinefield Park, which will take me into Torbay Road, which is my first objective. Or I can carry on through a housing estate from the end of Allesley Hall Drive, and it's that route that's shown on the Coventry cycle route map. As I say, I've only done this route a couple of times before, so I'm not quite sure how to get through the housing estate. Having passed that van, I'm now riding again. And I'm approaching the end of Allesley Hall Drive. And from memory, and also by looking on Google Earth, I think I've got to work my way through this car park and then look for a way through the housing estate. I'm finding this quite difficult. Oh, here we are. I'm very conscious now that I'm cycling on a footpath, which I don't like doing, and I'm going to carry on in that direction. Although in retrospect I think I should have turned right there, because there's an opportunity by going right to put a cycle track alongside the footpath, and as I'm about to discover, that isn't a possibility here. I don't like cycling up here. I'm breaking the law, I'm very conscious of it. and swinging left here, and I'm approaching Torbay Road. Onto the road. Here's Pangfield Park coming in from the left, which I could have reached, and I'm about to have a nice free wheel down Torbay Road on a very good road surface, although of course free wheels are like free lunches, there's no such thing. I'm looking to take first right into Kendal Rise. I think this must be it. I can't see a name sign, but I'm sure this must be Kendal Rise. And at the bottom of here I'm going to join Winsford Avenue. I'll turn left and then immediately right into Whittaker Road. Here's Winsford, signalling left and signalling right to turn into Whittaker Road. I'm going to turn left at the second crossroads, which is Lindale Road. The first crossroads is Brookside Avenue. Here it is, straight across. I've picked about the windiest day of the year so far, I think, for doing this video. You can see the trees blowing all over the place, and I'm going straight into the wind up this hill, which is the price I'm paying for the free wheel. Just hit a rather nasty pothole, which didn't help. Very soon I'll be turning left into Lindale Road. Here it is. That chap needs a pannier on his bike. At the end of here I meet Glendower Avenue and I go straight across into Guphill Avenue, which is now closed to through traffic but is accessible by bike. Here's Glendower. Straight across into Guphill Avenue. Here's the barrier. How do I get through? Not the most considerate bit of parking. And down Guphill Avenue. At the end of this avenue there is in theory a perfect cycling line to the end of Beechwood Avenue, which would then take me into Earlsdon. But unfortunately the only first part of that ideal cycling line, only the first part is available to me. As we'll see, the second part is blocked off completely, and indeed is not made up. I'm approaching Broad Lane, and I'm going to go more or less straight across down a footpath of sorts. Look at those potholes. which I shouldn't really be doing because again it's a footpath, not a cycle path. Although to be quite honest, I'd hate to have to walk down here, let alone ride down. It's in a dreadful state. At the bottom I'll meet, I think it's called Herald Way, one of the new roads that have been built recently, and ideally I'd like to go straight across through a gap in the central reservation of the dual carriageway, a kind of an island of safety. And it would be wonderful if from there was a cycle path and a footpath across the edge of the common by the side of the stream, which would take me right to Beechwood Avenue. But unfortunately I can't do it, which is a pity. There's a crossing off to my right, but I won't bother with that. I'll take to the road and come back on myself round the roundabout. It's pretty quiet at this time of day. It's just after lunch on a Tuesday, so there's not much traffic about. Round the roundabout, back into Herald Way, and it's about here that an ideal cycle track would take off down the side of the common. Unfortunately it's not there. Here's the crossing I mentioned, so I'm going to have to turn left down one of the new roads through the warehouse area. I could be at Beechwood Avenue by now. Past the entrance to the Village Hotel. Through another roundabout. Canway Station off to the right. I'm going to swing left. Past Go Outdoors. And just about here, my ideal cycle track would have come in. I'm going to turn right at the mini roundabout and into Beechwood Avenue. It's just been resurfaced. The traffic lights over the railway bridge have been recently moved. Why there wasn't an advanced stop line put there for cyclists, I just do not know. I would have thought that would be standard nowadays. Here are the traffic lights coming up. They've turned to green, terrific, over the bridge. Woof! How fast was he going? Along Beechwood Avenue. I'm about to signal right to turn right at the mini roundabout. Here it is. Continuing along Beechwood Avenue, and now I'm about to signal left to turn into Shaftesbury Road. I wouldn't like to ride down here very far on the road surface. I'm signalling right to turn into St Andrews Road. And I'm back home.